the civility with which this so-called debate took place. I salute both Brother Billy Carson and Mr. Wesley Huff. I salute them both for the high-level conversation
Yes, sir.
that they had. The marked by a mutual respect that lasted the duration of the conversation. That civility yet did not mute the force of the intellectual confrontation.
Mm.
And that's commendable. Remember, I come up out of the hardcore debate setting and era. I cut my teeth in New York, where my opponents and the audience were hostile to me and what I represented. In one case, my opponent even had guns. Yet, we went hard hitting but civil. And Allah blessed us with victory each time. But I now know I have to put victory somewhat with an asterisk. Because since those debates where we were held in the street as the victors, yet the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan would later say to me, we don't debate, Brother Dr. Wesley, because in a debate, there has to be a winner or a loser. But we dialogue because in dialoguing, everybody can win, because everybody can learn something.
Yes, sir.
So when it was brought to me to sit down with Rabbi Harry Rosenberg, the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan gave me permission to do so and gave me guidance and instruction on how to have this public dialogue with Rabbi Harry Rosenberg. And he said to me, he said, Brother Dr. Wesley, he's coming in your house on my platform. He said, be a good host. And so, having been raised from coming up out of the setting of hostile debates that wherein we yet remain civil, but they were hostile, to having fruitful dialogue, I appreciate the dialogue that Billy Carson and Wesley Huff had. I love the intellectual confrontation.
Yes, sir.
I personally believe that that's the best way to distinguish who knows and who doesn't know what the hell we talking about.
Yes, sir.
So I love the intellectual confrontation. I became disgusted, as many have, with how the debate set degenerated into a circus of bloodlust. And I extricated myself from that. For years, they were calling me, wanting me, offer me thousands of dollars to re-enter that set.
Yes,
to
sir.
have a circus debate with them. But of course, that never did happen and never will happen. It degenerated, but that should not suggest I don't love the intellectual clash. Best
Yes, sir.
And we have to, whether we are sitting across from somebody or we are in front of our computer, we have to learn at all times to disagree without being disagreeable.
Mm.
And what I mean by that, and what is the lesson here? To the para-religious folk who believe they are beyond religion. You've evolved beyond religion. And then your para-religiosity, some of us do a lot of clapping at whom you deem to be religious, us religious people. And I get it, I understand, but you need to understand this, we all do, that if in your para-religiosity, you are going to go hard on religious folk, when religious folk get the upper hand and the clapback is vicious, understand that everything that we send out is coming back to us. So there is never a reason to not be respectful, even in our disagreement. But we bang on religiosity. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get off this point. That's what took me to New York. When I entered the debate scene, I went to check the Kufi smackers.
Mm.
Kufi smackers. When I stepped up, the phenomenon in the conscious community, Afrocentric community, was Kufi smacking, meaning the Muslims, you smack them up. The power religious people, the Afrocentric scholars would love to get on the rostrum and smack up the Muslims. I went to New York to answer that. And so I did my smacking.
Yes, sir.
Because they wore kufis too.
Yes, sir.
And so I went to New York, kufi smacking. And I have a different spirit today because I'm blessed to sit at the foot of Jesus. But then it was necessary from my perspective. And I came kufi smacking so hard, and now everyone wants to cry peace. Everyone wants to cry foul when the clap back is more vicious than the clap. And so I'm saying to all of us, you can critique religion, and I do. But if you are going to bang, then if the bang comes back at you, well, we're going to have to eat that. But with that being said,